Who is Kelly Haworth? You mentioned him in your monologue.
Kenny.
Kelly.
In my opinion, he is her best friend. They've known each other since she was doing shows up in London. He was a fellow actor. He is basically her best friend. She doesn't mention him. I think they've kind of drifted away from each other when she's gotten older. But when she was younger and through until like when she was about 50, they've been like really good friends.
What kind of performances would your character go for, like in London and plays like that?
Musicals. She's a very musical person. You can tell that in her monologue when she gets up and starts dancing, or like she sings, and like the way she speaks is very musical, and like the way she puts her makeup on and stuff. So I think if when she goes to London, it is like the musicals on like West End and stuff. I don't think she would be a lead. I don't think she was ever a lead.
Yeah.
I just think she was a really good actor, and she was in a lot with doing the back of the show. She was never the lead. She was always an understudy of a lead, or she was like a swing or something like that.
So how do you think being an understudy and never being the lead, affected your character?
I don't think it really affected her. I feel like Molly's the type of person to whatever comes her way she gets.
Okay.
Like she doesn't get an understudy of the lead and be like, oh no, I didn't want. So
she's quite thankful for the fact she gets the opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So who taught your character to sing?
Her mum. I've always imagined it being her mum.
Okay.
She's very close with her mum in the way, like when she was younger, the way her and her mum in the monologue, she was doing her hair and stuff. I can just see their connection. And like how she would teach her how to like sing and like move and like dance and stuff.
What would you say your character's favorite performance she's done is? Which one do you reckon she's most proud of?
I feel like it was. I don't know the name of it, but I don't know the name of the last musical. But it would be the last musical she was ever in. I can just imagine her being. Like
it's sort of like the last kind of hurrah, and then it's like nothing ever gets good.
Yeah, I feel like she started quite low, and then she suddenly built up, and she's just like the last show. I felt like she was the head like choreographer, like the head, like the understudy of the main character, and like stuff like that. So I feel like that was the one that she was most proud of. And then she, in my opinion, she got let off from her agency. She never wanted to stop.
Yeah.
But her agency was just like, you're getting too old, you're not good enough for like the industry anymore. So like, I feel like was her last show, was the one she was most proud of.
Do you reckon she experienced like any depression out of that or anything like that? Yeah.
I don't think from that she did. No. But as soon as she got home, because obviously she finished the show, she got let off, she couldn't afford to live in London anymore.
Yeah.
She went home back to the road where her mum was, and her mum died. So I think like that is when she started getting quite like down and depressed about it. I don't think she was ever like really depressed.
Yeah.
I just think she did something like locked herself away from the world and became very lonely and like living by herself and stuff.
What were her last words to her mum, do you reckon?
I've always imagined it being, I hope I made you proud.
Yeah.
Because her mum obviously taught her mum like gave her the opportunity and like what's the word? Like the acceptance sort of to like go and do what you want to do.
Follow your dreams.
Yeah. And then to come back, she was like, oh, I hope I made you proud by doing it and going there and trying my best.
So how long before the play Road is set, do you reckon the mother died?
I feel like when Road is set, she's in her 70s, and I feel like her mum died when Molly was in her like late 30s, early 40s, so she was still pretty young.
Okay. Okay, so what key events in your character's childhood help to shape them into who they are in Road, do you reckon? So like stuff like, what do you think would inspire them to take on like musical theatre, stuff like that?
I don't think anything's really inspired her. I feel like that's all she's kind of known. Like her mum I don't think her mum was ever like an actress or like was into musical theatre, but she taught her and she knew how to do stuff. So I feel like she never really was inspired. It's kind of what all she wanted to do was to go and be a performer and just be in musicals and stuff.
Yeah, so her mum was sort of an inspiration. That she idolised her mum, and just why she wanted to sing for her mum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So how old is your character?
In Road.
Yeah, in Road.
About 70.
Okay. Cool.
Or in her 70s.
Cool. So, what were the relationships your character has had before Road like?
She's had this one relationship with the man that's mentioned in the monologue. In my opinion, the man she met when she was younger in school, and like they fell in love, and then they got married, and then in the monologue it says that he went, but she doesn't know if he's dead or where he went.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's had a really bad and good relationship with him. I feel like it was good at the start, and then he suddenly left her a letter, and like he's just gone. So it sort of was turning to like now it's just a bad memory for her.
Do you reckon the fact like he left so abruptly and kind of without sort of saying a lot has affected her future relationships with men?
Yeah, I feel like because in the play again it says that she sung at her weddings, so she's had more than one wedding. So I feel like after the mum died, she kind of spiraled, and then she was married again, but to the man that she doesn't really love. I feel like that person, I don't know who he was or like his name or anything, but I feel like that the experience with him just leaving and him just not giving her any like explanation of where or why or like where he went just kind of affected her, because she doesn't really want to let herself go anymore. Like she doesn't really want to be accepting into loving another person as much as she loved him.
Yeah.
So I feel like it definitely has changed her thought on like men and marriage and stuff.
Does your character have any children?
No, I don't see her having any children.
Okay. Who is your character's favourite and least favourite person in Road, and why?
I feel like her favourite is Scullery.
Yeah.
I feel like they have a good relationship and can like connect, because on like it's like a short scene, it's like a 3-line scene.
Yeah.
But Scullery's talking to Molly and they're like having a chat, and then he just goes stand on the table and just sings, and Molly just sings to him. So I feel like they're really close. I don't think she has bad relationships with anyone on Road, but I don't think she is particularly close with anyone else apart from Scullery.
How old is Scullery again in Road?
Is he like 20s or 30s?
30s.
Yeah, 30s.
Do you reckon that she sort of sees him as like almost like a son?
Yeah, I could imagine them having that like son and mother connection.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if they see each other and they were like, oh hi and like stuff, they would like not pretend but act like they're really close. And like I could just picture Scullery coming over to Molly for like a cup of tea and just to check in, see how she's doing and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Does your character have any scarring, and how did it occur?
Physical and mental.
Both. Start off with one and then go to the other one.
Physical, I don't think so.
Okay.
I can imagine her being very clean in a way, like she has no tattoos, no piercings and stuff because she's an actress.
Yeah.
Mentally, I think her mum has definitely scarred her.
Yeah.
In her being like dying and then Molly being alone, and then also the man has also scarred her, and I feel like both of them together have scarred her, and she's just felt lonely, like in that kind of way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does your character feel safe where they live and when they go out?
Yeah, I think in her house she definitely feels safe because since she was 10 she's lived in that house.
Yeah.
And then being out, I do think she feels safe. She's not like, she doesn't go out a lot, but if she goes out it's to the pub, like the local pub. and she feels safe there because she knows the people there. Like Scully's normally there, and like Blowpipe and stuff.
Do you reckon she would feel like safe to walk home alone at night, or not?
I don't really think she does. I don't think if she was to go out at night, she wouldn't go really late at night.
No.
I feel like she would.
No, she's quite old.
Yeah, go for like one drink and then she'd go home.
Yeah.
But I think she would. I think she would feel safe if she goes out all night and walking home.
Okay. What are your character's political views?
To be honest, I don't think she has any.
No.
Like, I feel like she's the type of person to not really care about politics, doesn't care. Well, she cares, but she doesn't, she doesn't really, have the political values and political views that other people in the play have.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very her and no one else.
Do you reckon it's sort of just like hating Margaret Thatcher in that because of the...
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Has your character ever taken illegal drugs?
No.
Okay. If your character could choose their last words, what would they say?
Ever?
Yeah, so on the deathbed, what would they say? Or the last sort of imprint on the world?
If she was speaking to someone or just to herself?
Let's say she's speaking to Scullery.
Okay, I think she would say, ooh, not that. I think just be happy.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good question.
What racisms does your character have, if any?
I don't think she has any.
Okay.